Alright, ladies and gentlemen, generic intro number 3, how's it going? I brought in a guest today. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the Overwatch summer event, probably just a little bit more about it in general, because it's been causing a lot of controversy. Before we do that, though, let's introduce our guest, and you can go ahead and introduce yourself, because you're used to doing this at this point. Go for it.
Woo! Hey guys, my name is Mr. Elefante, and I also upload videos and first-person shooters and all that stuff, but I'm on the console. Isn't that plebby? Plebby? Is that a word? Could that be a word?
It's not a word. Why did I even bring you in here?
Oh, actually, I'm your janitor, that's why.
Yeah, you clean up all the messes that I cause in the comment section of my videos. People are still pissed at me, man. I don't know what I did. I made a Battlefront 2 video where I said I loved the game and people were calling me an idiot and that they hated me because I didn't like the game.
You enraged the horde, man.
Apparently. So
I gotta pick up these pitchforks and everything, you know?
Yeah, no, the pitchfork thing has been a running gag for a while now. And that was on my last video about Overwatch. We're gonna be talking a little bit about that. So, you're slightly in a different situation than I am. Like, not a huge difference, but you do play on console. And we had our little banter about that earlier today. Freaking aimbotting little whore.
It's called aim assist. Get that right.
Oh, fair enough. So, yeah, you're playing on console, and that kind of has a different connotation towards how they might view microtransactions, and I don't know if you're super into console or if you kind of bounce between that and PC, so maybe you're a bit more familiar with it, but how do you think that the console community is reacting to Overwatch's kind of microtransaction primary business model going forward here?
Right, so officially I can't, say for the entire console community, but as far as what I can tell from like first-person shooters, Call of Duty, Halo, and all that stuff, the summer packs aren't actually that bad. And in a way where the summer loot boxes don't really affect much in terms of the gameplay. Like say for instance, like the Battlefield DLC packs or Call of Duty packs where, you can't play these certain map packs, you can't play these certain game modes, unless you actually buy this huge, $15 pack. And so, coming from a Call of Duty mentality, I've done this a lot myself and got used to the whole like, oh great, now I got another $15, another 4 months in, and eventually for myself, I've dropped out of that sort of field, but this whole sort of new influx of like microtransactions of just cosmetic changes aren't really a bad thing to me. And I remember I think I was trying to put a very terrible comment, terribly worded comment on one of your videos. I basically wanted to kind of bring up the idea that the expansions are shit. I just lost my train of thought.
It's cool. I have all the trains you need. Just go look at my logo. It's fine. Take your time. I can fill time until you remember about it. So, I think what you were trying to talk about in that one was that it wasn't so much like I made the comparison over to them being similar to card packs. It was something about that. That ringing any bells?
Oh, right. Yeah. So the card packs, like it, I understand where that logic was coming from, but at the same time, I can't put that in the same bracket because with a card pack, you still have a physical like thing that you can actually have. Like if I get like a rookie card that's like super rare and I'm like, yes, I can actually have, go into like eBay and try to sell it and it'll have some sort of real world value. Whereas if I get like, let's say the Tracer Racer skin that's part of the Olympic loot box, I can't really sell that. I can't really do anything except just equip it and be like, whoa, this is kind of cool. So I couldn't make that connection with the card analogy, but in terms of just I guess microtransactions in general, like it's just a necessary evil. It's like, oh cool, I got another dress for my specific doll. I don't know if that makes any sense right there.
Yeah, and I'm just going to make the comparison here because this actually reminded me of this entire situation that happened like a month and a half ago. Everyone heard about the Counter-Strike skins and gambling situation, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So do you think that Overwatch's model right now, Blizzard's model, where they offer you these limited edition skins that you can't actually market or trade or sell for any sort of money is a better system than what other games, say like Counter-Strike, are doing?
It's a double-edged sword. I mean, it's nice to know that, like, say for instance, if I played CS:GO a lot and I can get a specific skin, it's like, cool, I can, cash this out, or I don't need this anymore. But the whole gambling system and everything like that, that's like a whole, I guess, box of worms. God damn, can of worms. That's a whole can of worms, in terms of like the feeling of it and like the shadiness that was going around it. But in terms of having that real world value, I think it's really nice. How is it compared to Overwatch's skins? I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's fun. I bought some microtransaction stuff for Destiny, which is literally just dances for the character, so I can make the character dance a stupid way, and I'm so 100% okay with paying for this. For some reason, something's wrong in my brain, but I did it. I just, it's I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the logic behind that is. Maybe I'm broken.
I watch a lot of Jim Sterling. I think he's one of my favorite YouTubers right now because he just says whatever's on his mind. And whether or not I agree with that or not is fine. And I usually agree with him probably, let's say, like 85% of the time, right? He's been on the other side of this Overwatch thing where he says that he doesn't agree that there should be any microtransactions in Overwatch at all, because everything that you buy in the game should be included in the package. Now, I completely understand that logic, and as I stated in my other video, right, I oppose the idea that if you buy a game that you don't get all the content. I think that if you buy something, you should get the content that is in the game, and there should be no paywall against it. And granted, you can get really everything in Overwatch, you just have to play it long enough, right? But that does kind of like stream as a more free-to-play model. But the thing with me is that, like you were saying earlier, when you look at games like Call of Duty or Battlefront, which is one that's really seeing this right now, when you divide up the community with all these different DLC expansions, right, that you're charging money for these large pieces of content that people might be kind of more okay with, it does divide up the community. So personally, I do feel like it's a little bit easier for me to accept that maybe I won't get all the skins from this summer event, but the people who do buy these boxes, I haven't bought any loot boxes, but if people are willing to buy those just so they can get some cosmetic skins that have no impact on the game, I can still play with those exact same people, it doesn't really matter, then I'm still getting free content that does actually affect the game. Things like new heroes, things like new maps and everything like that.
Absolutely. Actually, Halo has adopted a very similar structure, and what they've done is they've released sort of like these monthly content things, and they've all been funded by microtransactions in the game. So they also have their own form of like a loot box where you open it up, you get some cool cosmetics for your Spartan, or like items that you use for a special game type that allows you to use like super OP weapons, because it's just like a fun like sandbox sort of thing. And all of the new updates, so new maps, released games, new game types, they're all funded through these microtransactions. And to me, I think that's sort of like, it's kind of like how YouTube has the free but with ads mentality versus the YouTube Red. It's sort of just that necessary evil that everyone has to kind of understand and say, well, this is typical upkeep. It's really hard to find another mode or another model to use other than the going back to the old world $15 per map pack that everyone now feels incredibly cheated out of.
Yeah, and I think bringing up YouTube is a great example of this other point I wanted to make, where even though YouTube might be owned by a company like Google in the same way Overwatch is owned by Blizzard, I mean, Blizzard has enough money to just keep making content for Overwatch regardless. It doesn't matter, if Overwatch didn't sell another copy from right now, but they still want to make content, they could. But I find that is a bit of a weird mentality to not expect your company or your game to be able to pay for itself. Like YouTube, it should have ads, it should have a YouTube Red service so that it can pay for itself, because that's what you should be wanting out of your products as a company, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just like if you were, you could probably go to your current work, your job place, or school, or any other kind of thing. If you had to like mow somebody's lawn, you could definitely do it for free, but why should you? Why not provide some sort of way to, even the playing field, kind of cut even. Maybe there's some cost to, upkeep the lawnmower or what have you. But in the end, you want to kind of at least break even. And that's what I would assume these microtransactions are helping do. Continue the development for new characters, new skins, new storylines. Just make it, in terms of a business standpoint, reasonably feasible to continue using.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if I don't get that Tracer Racer skin, is that what it's called? I like calling it T-Racer.
Oh, that's actually way better.
T-Racer here. Okay, that has to be her name, right? That is her name, I think. I think that's what the play on words is there.
I hope so.
Because she kind of says it sometimes. But I would much rather not be able to get that skin and then still get a bunch of free maps that skin allowed to be made. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's water under the bridge, and in the end of the day, because you're still that same Tracer, you still have the same abilities, and who knows, maybe you have a skin that you're wearing that the person that has that Summer Racer, T-Racer, is like, man, I wish I had that instead. So
yeah,
it's just...
this isn't a new thing either. Like, I remember back when TF2 was really, really, really big, I would get, like, the Summer Shades or something that Valve had on for a while, and I still have those. They're worth about $2 or something right now, right? But, like, no one really cares in the long run. I think people really care right now because there's not that many skins available. So if so it's still feasible for people to, like, collect every single skin in the game. And when they don't have it, they're going to get a little bit salty about it. But as the game progresses, I think that there's going to be so many different skins and different little items and stuff that it's going to kind of turn into TF2, where it's like, hey, I got a cool thing. Oh, hey, that thing looks really cool. Cool. We're amicable and happy together.
Right, exactly. It's gonna take some time for us to get to that point where we're gonna be like, oh, you got it that one time? That's awesome. Check out what I have from this exclusive time. It's just gonna take some time.
Exactly, and I know there's gonna be that one or two people in the comments that are completely disagreeing with us. That's totally fine. So these are kind of our thoughts on it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are we completely wrong on a couple points? Please just explain it to us amicably, and everyone will be copacetic together. That's all we want out of life, right?
I'll be ready for those cleaning the pick shorts, man. All the pick shorts are gonna be falling down.
Exactly. Do you want to remind everyone where they can go and check you out if they want to? I check you out every day.
Oh my. Well, you guys can actually check out my channel at Mr. Elefante or Mr. Elefante 222. I've totally butchered my URL now, but yeah. So I also do first-person shooters, a lot of which have been Overwatch and Destiny, and I think I'm gonna finally make the leap and actually start playing Overwatch on PC now.
Oh,
so,
I can't wait. We can do many things. Did you see my Torbjorn video?
Oh my god, I saw that video.
Dude, we can do that every day.
I love that your height was just perfect.
Yeah, they
so
couldn't
that you
see
guys
anything.
were super stealthy, man.
Right. Anyways, go check him out if you want to, and then subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am PattyJack, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.